think that I have like it's not like it's it isn't quite like chemistry, where I'm like making sure that it's all something there. I think it comes more organic, it's more natural. And I think it helps because conceptually we're following one story, which is the story about Millie, and she's trapped in somebody else's body. She knows that the killer is in her body and she has to stop him, so a lot of her scenes are going to be funny, because it's Vince Vaughn and he's a teenage girl now. But then you have the Catherine part of the movie, which is running parallel. And that one is the story of a killer who's just out and he's murdering people. So those scenes tend to be the more scary scenes. And so I think the balance is really natural because we keep going back and forth between these two people. So it ends up pretty even naturally. The dagger was another idea that Michael had. And then when I stepped in, I felt like it needed to become a character in the movie as well. And so, I made it an Aztec dagger, and that, I helped design it. I wanted to give it a kind of its own mythology, its own backstory, so that it felt like it had a place in history. And so we gave it a real personality, and I think that really helps the audience sort of believe that this object has powers. And that was the fun of it. There's a scene in the movie when the butcher attacks Millie on a football field, and when he brings the dagger up and the ground opens up and reveals a temple, an Aztec temple underneath them. That was part of it. I wanted the magic, mystical element to come forward. And I thought it was cool because it's also something that you normally don't see in movies like this. So it's almost like a little bit of like Indiana Jones, everything happens and you're like, wait, what? But that's part of the fun of making these movies, is doing stuff that's unexpected, but it makes sense. It's part of the story. It's not like I'm just throwing something out for fun. It is part of the story. Well, it's funny that you bring that up because I actually referenced Terminator 2 a lot.
Oh, really?
When I was making this movie. And in fact, I think I was really shocked. I don't think Catherine had even seen Terminator 2, which is terrible. So I showed her clips from the movie of how he moved, how robotic he was and how like focused he was, because that was a physicality that I really wanted for the butcher, that he's always just searching for the next person to kill. So I used that as a reference point when I was working with Catherine. Yeah, I think there's a lot of different kinds of movies that sort of I think I'm paying homage to, like the ones you mentioned. Of course, Halloween and Friday the 13th, a little bit of Scream, and of course, Freaky Friday, but also like some stuff, so it's a little bit more like a John Hughes. So I think it draws a lot of inspiration from other movies. But then also, just trying to sort of make our own weird little movie. I don't have a script. I have an outline. I know what the movie is. And everybody wants to do it, but we've just been waiting on Universal to decide if they want the movie. They know that we would love to make it, but it's up to them if they ultimately want to do it or not.
If it was like in Japan, if it was waiting for like sequel.
I know. So bummed. I would love to do it. We'll see what happens. I hope it happens. It's a really cool idea. It's fun.
That's me, Millie. I love your dress. I think I saw it at Discount Bonanza.
地味な女子高生が13日の金曜日に殺された。
But I didn't get killed.
Where am I?
That's not me. I swapped bodies with a serial killer.
女子高生と殺人鬼の未体験入れ替わりホラー。
Psycho is wearing my body. He's killing it. If I don't stab him back,
I'm gonna be stuck in his body forever. I want my body back.
come and get it.
I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl.
Oh my god, it's
It's a slaughterhouse.
I can't wait to kill you.
I'm trying to stab myself!
The Switch